Hello everyone. So today we'll be discussing on the topic subset sum, right? Subset sum DP actually. Yep. So this is one of the famous algorithms that consists of the DP. Yep. So let's get into the definition part. What the definition part says here. So subset sum is a dynamic programming problem where we check whether the subset of a given numbers can form a target sum, right? Subsets of the given number forms a target sum. So there will be target sum provided. So the subset sum will form the or will lead to the target sum or not, that we will be checking by making use of the dynamic programming. Yep, that's what we'll be doing. So it uses state transitions to decide inclusion or exclusion. So this one, to understand the inclusion or exclusion, we have already discussed the inclusion exclusion principle. You have, that's the prerequisite, you have to know that one. Yep. So it uses state transition to decide inclusion or exclusion of elements. The problem is typically solved using Boolean DP table. So it will be solved using the Boolean DP table. Next, let's move on with the algorithm explanation part, right? So listen to this carefully. So we will be making use of the DP table where DP of ij means using first I elements, right? So we'll be checking, can we form some j from that first I using first I elements? Can we form some j? Some j actually, that's what we'll be checking, right? So this is fine. Next, let's move on with the base case. Base case in the sense sum zero is always possible. So empty subset. Empty subset is always possible, right? Sum zero is always possible, right? So the second one is positive sum with zero, right? So see here, positive sum with zero elements is impossible. With zero elements is impossible because there should be some element, right? There should be some element present. So positive sum with zero elements is impossible. For each element, either exclude it or include it. So we'll be going with the inclusion exclusion principle here, right? So for each element, we'll either exclude it or include it. So if the value is less than or equal to current sum, then the final answer is stored in the DP of end target, right? This one. So finally, we'll be returning this one in the code. So we'll be going with inclusion or exclusion here. If for each element, so for each element, what we'll do, either include it or exclude it, right? Include it in the sense if the value is less than or equal to current sum, then we'll include it, else we will be excluding, right? So that's what we'll be doing. Final answer is stored in DP of end target. So this is fine. If you didn't get everything, this is fine. We'll be implementing the same thing in the form of code, and we'll dry run the code accordingly with the example that will be considering within the code. So I assure you that at the end of the video, you'll understand this one correctly, right? So now let's do one thing. Let's move on with the further things, man. Yep. So the first thing here, let's move on with the input array, right? So let's consider very simple example here. In this case, let me go with array. So I'll just go with 3, 34. So this is fine. 4 is also fine. Then 12, 5 as well as 2. So this is fine. Next thing, what we're going to do here. So let's go with the target sum. I'll just go with target equals 9. So this is also fine. The next thing, let's go with the number of elements here. Nothing but n equals array dot length. So this is fine as well, I believe. Next, let's move on with the further things. So now, yeah, let's move on with the this one. What do we call further steps? So first thing, as per the algorithm, so we will be making use of the DP itself. This is one of the DP based algorithms itself. Now, first thing, so we will be going with a 2D DP. So DP of ij is nothing but here this part. So we have to check where did it go? This one, using first I elements, can we form some j? That's what we have to check, right? So for that, we need the DP array. First thing, I'll just go with Boolean here. So this is fine. DP equals, let me go with new Boolean of size n plus 1 and target plus 1, just for the safer side actually. Yep. So I'll just go with the target plus 1. So this is fine. Next, let's move on with the for loop because sum 0 is always possible. Empty subset, this part. So we are done with this part. So let's move on with the initializing base cases. Sum 0 is always possible and positive sum with the 0 elements is possible. First, a sum 0 is always possible. For that, let's write the code. Yep. So I'll just go with for loop here. For, so this one will be int I equals 0, I less than or equal to n. Let me increment the I. So let me remove this one. I misspelled n here. Sorry, what is happening here? Anyways, so within the for loop, I'll just set dp of I0. Yep. So this one to true as we are going with the 2D dp. Yep. So sum 0 is always possible, nothing but the empty subset. So that is the reason we have set this one to Boolean value true. Now what shall we do? Let's move on with the further things. So we have to go with the inclusion exclusion principle here, right? So we have to exclude the current element or we have to include the current element if possible. Yep, that's what we have to do accordingly with the algo. So this part for each element, this one. Yep. So we have to either include it or exclude it, right? So for excluding, it is fine. We can just directly write the code. For including, we have to check whether the value is less than or equal to current sum, this part. Yep. So we have to do that. Let's do the same thing. So I'll just go with two for loops here. So this one will be int I equals 1. We have to start with 1. I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. So this is fine. Then let's move on with one more for loop. So this one will be int j equals 1, j less than or equal to target. So this is also fine. Let's move on with j plus plus. So within the for loop, the first thing we have to exclude the current element. For that, I'll just go with dp of ij equals dp of. So this one is fine. I minus 1 into j, right? So this is fine. Yeah, so the next thing, so after excluding the current element, let's go with a simple if condition. Yeah, so this one is if j greater than or equal to array of, so I'll just go with a I minus 1 here, this one. Yep. So then what I'll do, I'll just go with dp of I this time. dp of I into j is equivalent to dp of I j or dp of I minus 1 into j minus array of I minus 1. Yeah. So I'll just go with array of I minus 1. So this is it for the if condition. Yep. So we are just including the current element if possible accordingly with the algo, right? So we are done with almost everything. We're left with only certain things, I believe. All we have to do is we have to print the final answer. That's the only thing that we are left with. So let me format the code so that this looks good, man. Yeah. So this is fine. Next, what shall we do? Let's print the final answer. So we'll get to know whether subset exists or not, right? So I'll just go with out. So we are making use of the print writer. Let's make use of out.println here. So let me pass dp of m. So here the output will be present in the dp of this one n and target, right? So this is not n, m, sorry, it's n. And let me include the target as well. Yep. So this is it for the coding part. And also we have to go with flush, right? So we have to get the output immediately, right? So that is the reason we'll be making use of the flush. So let me format this one. So this is it for the coding part, man. Do we have any typos or the errors, right? So we are not making use of buffered reader. Buffered reader is not required here. Anyways, let me remove this one. Yeah, so this is fine, man. Yep. So we do not, I believe we do not have any error of the typos. So before running the code, let's do one thing. Let's dry run the code so that we get to know whatever the code that we have written is correct or not. And also we get to know the output for the example that we have considered. Output for the example that we have considered. And later we can come back here and run the code that we have written. First, let's dry run the code. Yep, let's do that. So let's continue with the dry run for the code that we have written. So inside the code, we have went with certain example. Let's consider the same example. Array we have considered. I'll just consider here 3, 34, 4, 12, 5, 2. Right. So this is fine. And target, let's go with 9. Target, let's go with 9. Yep. So let's go with the this one step by step key transitions, right? So first let's make use of the 3, right? So I'll just write here using 3 first subset. Yep. So we'll be making use of 3. So some 3 here, some 3 is possible here, right? Sum 3 is possible. 3 plus 3 plus 3, that would lead to target 9. Yep. So I'll just write here sum 3 is possible. Yeah, I'll just write possible PO, right? So this is not the position, this is possible. Anyways, now let's make use of 34 is not possible here. 34 is not possible. See, 34 is not possible. And let's go with 3 and 4 included. Yeah, 3 and 4 included. So sum 7 is possible here, right? So first thing we are checking, this is not 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9. So first we'll check for whether sum 3 is possible. Sum 3 is possible. 3 plus 4 here, sum 7 is possible. We are going step by step. Don't get confused here, right? So finally, so here we'll be going with this one. We'll be making use of, I'll just go with 3, 4, 5, right? So here sum 9 is possible. Yeah, sum 9 is possible. Yep. So this one, using 3, 4, 5, sum 9 is possible actually. Sum 9 is possible. Yep. So what we'll do, we'll set here dp of 6 as well as 9. Yep, dp of 6 as well as 9. One second. We have 5 elements here, right? Length is 6 here. Length is 6, so this will be dp of 6, and target value we have is 9 here, right? So dp of 6 comma 9, dp of 6 and 9 will set this one to true because sum 9 is possible, right? Sum 9 is possible here using 3, 4 as well as the 5. This part, yep, sum 9 is possible. So now we have got the value, this one boolean value true. So subset exists here, right? Program this one, whatever the code that we have written prints true, has to print true. We haven't checked this one yet. Accordingly, with the dry run, we have got the output true. Let's see. So this is it for the dry run actually. Yep, this is it for the dry run. So this is step by step key transition I have shown. Yep, don't get confused here. We are going with step by step key transition. First, we check for 3, sum 3 is possible, and then we went with 3, 4, sum 7 is possible. Then this one 3, 4, 5, sum 9 is possible here, right? So we are going with the key transitions here. Don't get confused. So DP of 6, 9, this one is nothing but true here. In this case, it is true, right? So Boolean value true. So we have to get the output true. So we are done with the dry run part as well, right? So we had discussed algorithm, and also we wrote the code. We have dry run the code just now. We have dry run the code by considering the same example that we have considered within the code. We are almost done with everything, except that we are left with only one thing, nothing but two things actually. One thing is running the code that we have written, and another one is discussing the complexities for the code that we have written. Let's do it. So now let's run the code that we have written. So let me run the code. Yeah, see here, we are getting the Boolean value true. Nothing but dp of 6, 9 true. We have already considered this one, or we have already discussed this one during the dry run part. Yep. So this is fine. We have got the desired output, right? So now we are left with only one thing, nothing but discussing the complexities for the code that we have written. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. So what is the time complexity for the code that we have written actually? The time complexity, you would have already guessed this one. The time complexity would lead to big of n into target, right? So the time complexity would lead to big of n into target. So this is fine. So the time complexity would lead to big of n into target for filling the DP table row by row. For filling the DP table row by row. So what would be the space complexity? Space complexity would lead to big of n into target as well. The space complexity would lead to big of n into target as well. So for the DP, 2D DP Boolean table, for the 2D DP Boolean table, right? So this is fine. Yep. This is it for the time complexity and the space complexity part. So the time complexity would lead to big of n into target because filling the DP table row by row takes big of n into target itself. Time itself, the space complexity would lead to big of n into target because we are going with a 2D DP Boolean table, right? So yep. So this is it for the time complexity and this is it for the complexities part actually. Now we are done with the subset sum algorithm. Next, what we'll be doing, we will be discussing on the topic partition DP. That's one of the important algorithms as well, right? So for now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.